What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Served on the Rocks, powered by Living in Colorado, The Mile High Perspective on YouTube, Lifestyle International Realty, Keller Williams Downtown, and
eMortgage Capital.
eMortgage Capital. We are down here at our office in Lifestyle International Realty, brand new office. It's going beautifully. We love the setup. Can't wait to get our sign behind us. It's going to be incredible. And I am here with, as always,
Jameson Amros.
Oscar Ibarra.
And if you guys don't remember, this is a real estate-based podcast where we drink and review bourbon. And this week's topic is topical.
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 It's topical. Not like a topical cream.
No.
I wish we could solve this problem, actually, with a topical cream. That would make it.
If only.
That would make it easy, right?
Topical creams are wonderful.
Yeah. Some preparation H and just be done.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope I don't.
You're going to need a lot more than
that.
preparation.
No, I'm just
H
saying,
for
it kind
this
of feels like hemorrhoids right now.
Like the pillow.
The government is quite inflamed.
Yeah.
Need some preparation.
Well, we're talking government shutdown, baby.
We're talking government shutdown. What does that mean for the housing market? What does that mean for you as a buyer and a seller of your house? So on today's episode, the topic we're going to talk about is going to be the government shutdown and how it is affecting the housing market as a whole. While we drink a bourbon that, for me, the company's always top tier. We have the High West Bottled and Bond. This is going to be a rye, right?
It is.
Yeah, go for it, James.
Pot stilled rye.
What's the proof?
What's the proof? 100.
100.
We keep it a buck.
100.
I haven't had breakfast. I'm drinking
keeping
tea.
it a buck,
A
baby.
little bit of chamomile tea for the belly.
I love
the
it.
stomach's not being.
So we all know.
Good.
Does somebody want to give us a refresher on what bottle? It's actually super funny, and I did this on purpose. So I picked specifically a bottled in bond bourbon or whiskey, because when you have a bottled in bond whiskey, it is regulated by who?
The U.S.
Government. So right now, because the government is shut down, nobody is regulating bottled in bond whiskey.
So this might blind us.
Yeah, that's what it says. So we're going back to the blind days.
Yeah,
blind days of bourbon.
If we were back in the early late 1800s, we'd probably be going blind. But
yeah,
they're all regulated well. Bottled and bond just stuck.
Yeah, anytime something is bottled in bond, it just means that it has to be aged for a minimum of 4 years, and it has to be aged in a federally regulated rick house. So they come in and they make sure that there's certain standards. Yeah, their standards are met so that there's not, we're not drinking just a bottle of methane.
Yep.
And then that's how larceny came to be.
Yeah, exactly.
What was his name? Fitzgerald? Fitz something. He was an inspector that would go inspect. Fitzpatrick?
I think so.
He would go and inspect the rick houses and then steal a little bit
steal
here,
them.
steal a little there, and then he would blend them and then sell them.
That's how larceny
was created.
Whiskey.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yeah, she looked at her sign. Good for you. Come in.
See that?
Come in. Yeah.
So anyway, High West, it's based out of Park City, Utah. I still need to visit that distillery because it houses
Utah
some
was
of,
dry.
Well, it was. This is the first distillery that was allowed to be open there. And they make some of the best bourbon and whiskeys that we've ever had. This includes Midsummer Night's Dram.
Well, Kentucky is dry. Where the distilleries are, there it's a dry county.
Yep.
Here, let me pour it out real fast while you guys talk.
But I mean, we had what? So we haven't had this one yet, but we had the Campfire, which is fantastic. We've had obviously Midsummer Night's Dram, which
Campfire is actually very budget friendly too.
Yes, they just released Act 13.
And Midsummer Night's Dream is not budget friendly. Midsummer Night's Dram
is not budget.
Is not budget.
Well,
friendly,
I mean,
but it's delicious.
For what you get, though, I think it's pretty damn
that's
good.
one of the bottles that I won't go out and seek it just because, but for a special occasion, I have some money burning in my pocket. It's worth it.
Yep,
it's worth it. Oh, thank you. More than a lot of the higher end bourbons that are quote unquote popular right now.
Correct.
It's a good one.
And then they also have one of our favorites, Casa Nobles, which is the one that was aged in agave barrels. So they do some really interesting things with their whiskeys, innovative things, and it's always a high quality product. I don't know, it just is, right? So this one's gonna be interesting because it does say on some of the tasting notes that it's a little bit on the sweeter side, but it should have the bite of a rye that we're used to, and at 100 proof, 50%. So we should still have some of that, ethanol burn to it.
But that nose is ridiculously smooth.
Is it? I haven't tried it yet.
Put your nose in it.
Shove your nose in there, man. It's literally very low burn.
Yeah, for 100.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wow. Good Lord.
Oh man, there's like this. There's a sweetness to it that's not like a sugar sweet.
Look at the legs on that thing, though.
It's almost like a fruit sweet,
those legs
like
are
a
like
pear or an apple.
Like the chick from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
The viscosity is thick.
Mm-hmm. Getting some vanilla.
Isn't that
caramel?
Yep.
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
It's almost like there is some like grassy. There's the rye coming through, but it's very subtle. Interesting. A little bit of honey.
I don't know. I'm getting like
so it was
like
aged
like
in,
a weedy wheat
at the end of it. So I want to say the two
green wheat.
It was aged.
That's what I mean. Like almost like a grassy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to read the bottle again. I want to say the last 2 years is aged in American Char 2.
Okay.
White oak.
I always
barrels.
forget the char levels.
I want to say, if I remember correctly.
This is the first one that we've seen that it gives calorie count.
Oh wow.
It's
121
calories.
I don't want to know that.
It's keto
Zero
friendly.
carbs.
Per pour?
Yeah, 0 carbs, 0 protein, 0 fat.
What's the diet that they count?
Just straight
Keto.
empty calories.
No. The
Keto.
like, no, it's a lady's name. Like
Atkins?
no.
That they count? What do you mean?
Yeah, you could. It doesn't matter what you eat, but as long as it's under like 1,000 calories.
My grandma does it. Weight
Jenny
Watchers.
Craig or something like that.
It's Weight Watchers,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
yeah.
can eat it as long as you don't go over your points for the day.
Yeah, I mean, this
Weight
bourbon,
Watchers.
this bourbon's right there for you.
So if I have 1,000 calorie count, then I can have about 9 of these.
Oh, and you're solid.
Per
I'm solid.
1.5 fluid ounces is 121 calories.
All right.
The nose is insane.
I feel
I'm
like that's
excited
pretty,
to see
pretty calorie dense, honestly.
see JC's glass at the end of this
Yeah,
one for this one
agreed.
for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and get my first sip in. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Salud.
Another episode to the Shutdown.
No.
Holy shit. That is hands down the lightest that I've felt ever.
Mm.
The mouthfeel is insane.
Mm.
It takes me to like
Dude,
Ooh,
that's
but it
wild.
burns on the back end.
Yeah,
it does
that's
burn in the
wild.
back end, but the front end it hits you with a lot of like a flavor
Yeah.
that you would expect when you're drinking maybe like a wine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wines are
It's
when they're
almost like-
jammy, you just get it all up front.
Yeah, well, it's almost like So it's almost like they use the rye to give that dryness,
Yeah.
like you're saying, but
Yeah.
then all the sweet is up front. You get hit with the flavor, then it dies off to a little bit of the burn sitting on the back of your palate, and then that dryness.
Take another sip. The burn just mutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get it in the throat again.
That is insane. The spice is crazy. Definitely a lot of spice, like on the center of my tongue. Nothing really on the tip of my tongue. That honey
Darker
is strong.
oak.
Yep.
There's some good oak going
Yeah,
on.
I get some oak on the back end.
This one has I feel like this one has right off the bat just a good barrel profile.
It has like a coffee flavor too. Like a light coffee, like a light roast toffee almost.
Yeah, toffee. That's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's
this one's dangerous.
There's these Mexican candies. They're hard candies, but they're toffee. They're called Tommies.
I wish I could explain to
That's
you guys,
what it tastes like.
the viewers and listeners. I wish I could explain to you how light this is.
It's just
Like on
got
the
a
palate.
it's so you know what this reminds me of a lot of actually without it being it reminds me of a good toasted barrel,
I was just gonna say
right?
that.
But it's not a toasted barrel. So
Yeah.
the characteristics of that charred white American oak come through.
Wow.
But it's
It
not a
almost
toasted
lingers
barrel.
within like
Yeah.
that Elijah Craig barrel proof toasted barrel kind of.
All right,
realm.
so the
That's-
noses on this
Ooh,
guy
that is good, man.
are Honeycrisp apple, golden raisins,
Yeah.
zested kumquat,
Yeah.
graham cracker
Yeah.
crust,
Citrusy.
I still have never eaten a kumquat.
I'm gonna have to go buy you some.
wildflower honey, malted milk chocolate, toasted oak spice,
There's a toffee.
honeycomb,
Toasted oak spice. There
yep,
it is.
honeycomb and wicker basket, and then the palate, peach and
Wicker
cherry
basket.
cobbler.
Just
Yeah,
You never, here, hold this. Nah.
yeah, yeah.
Why
Oh,
not?
I was definitely I was a physically stimulated kid, so I literally I know exactly what.
so
what
much
that tastes
explains
like.
that.
Yeah. All right, so on the palate.
Charlie, stop eating my what are those called? Lonenberger baskets.
Hey man, spent a lot of time at grandma's house. She
That's
had
an
a
East
lot of
Coast. That's an
baskets.
East Coast
Yeah,
thing.
you know,
Midwest
yeah,
and
a lot
East
of
Coast things. That makes
baskets.
sense.
Start gnawing on my patio furniture.
Yeah.
I'll be honest though. So I used to JC or people used to make fun of JC and I all the time because we always used to have something in our mouth.
Yep.
And for me, it was always like plastic forks or straws. And I would just people are like, "What are you chewing on?" I'm like, "I
To
found
this
it."
day,
I don't know.
if there's a restaurant with a good toothpick holder at the end, Oh, you know I'm going for that.
I got into the cinnamon and the tea tree toothpicks.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'll take a straw, bend it in half, chew on that for hours.
I'll chew on the
hours.
straw.
I'll forget about it. And people are like, what are you doing?
We're just a bunch of neurodivergent people.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
So the palette overall is peach and cherry cobbler, ginger snaps, roasted marshmallows, puffed wheat cereal, cocoa nibs, molasses, dried thyme, and charred barrel staves.
Yeah, so
That
the
thyme.
grassy portion with the thyme makes sense.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely.
The cobbler.
And then the
puffed wheat cereal.
the roasted marshmallows make
Puffed
sense.
sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, this is going to be...
I don't know about the cobbler. I don't know. I have to.
The
But
cobbler,
this is
think
what I
that's
like.
the-
This is what I like about High West is they
Yes.
get very, very
Specific.
creative with their flavor profiles, even with something like a rye that is historically supposed to be very dry.
The sugars of the peach cobbler, that's kind of what they're like.
It's like the
syrupy,
yes.
thick viscosity, and the flavor of that. Not
Yes.
so much the pie itself or the cobbler,
but the sugar,
but the
like
sugary peach sweetness.
I definitely get that.
I can
for
get
sure.
that.
For sure.
I get
This
down
is
with that.
awesome. Jayma, thanks for picking up the bottle off the bat. This is going to be cool. And this is a limited release, so that's awesome.
This is like a whole Thanksgiving dessert in this bottle.
It is. Like, this is 100%.
You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. The tasting. Did you...
What?
The tasting that you sent me for the course meal.
Oh, I forgot about that. Is it High West?
I think I was
what?
one of them. There's like a bourbon dinner that's going on. He was like, should we try and go to this?
Where and why was I not informed of such
'cause
event?
We
Well-
weren't, it wasn't for sure because it's me and it costs money.
That is
I like bourbon.
absolute fact.
I like events.
he said,
I eat dinner.
I know that he sent it to me and he was like,
Jeez.
I
once he sees what
gave it
costs,
to.
I'm not
Well,
gonna do it.
first off, you bailed on a trip, so I don't want to hear it.
You
and
know
then
why.
Charlie is also
I had
very
some
money
shit.
conscious, and it was like $200 a person.
I mean, that's not bad for bourbon and dinner.
No, but this is going to be cool. If we can
Shit,
work it
I
out,
gotta
it's
find
gonna,
it.
it's a 5-course dinner, bourbon pairing dinner. So
And-
each course has a different bourbon,
And you're comparing $200 to potentially $2,000,
if not more.
if not more. It's Vegas.
Well,
So it's at Linger.
Linger's cool.
It's $225. It's on the 30th, so it's next Thursday.
Halloween?
It's Sazerac. That's. I mean, it's.
Sazerac has a lot.
Yeah, but
do.
Sazerac's
They have
Buffalo Trace, right?
Yeah, they have everything.
I mean, so here's the pairing. I'm just gonna walk you through these real quick. Just the whiskey.
and if you
pairings.
guys would like us to go
If
to
you guys
this
want,
and see
yeah,
the
I was gonna
content,
say if you
let
want to
us
see
know.
this. So essentially, it's a 5-course pairing,
Okay.
and you've got it's done by
I'd say if they have pork belly,
Freddie Johnson of Buffalo Trace. So you've got hamachi tiratito sweet potato puree paired with Weller CYPB. Then you've got lamb ribs, apple and quinoa something
lamb ribs are
that I
good.
can't pronounce.
Lamb lollipops.
Weller 12.
The Weller would go, dude, that's
Char
the
sweet
grassiness of
pork
the Weller
belly
would-
bao buns.
Wow.
Green apple shiso, candied peanuts, Eagle Rare 12.
They're doing what? Bami?
Yep. Then you got bulgogi ribeye,
Done.
kimchi pave roasted mushrooms, and
had
charred
Matt Bami.
scallion relish with Pappy Van Winkle 12.
Damn.
And then you got Thai tea, sticky toffee pudding, candied ginger, sesame tule, and toasted coconut ice cream. Sazerac 100 proof.
I might have to do it because that just the
I mean,
food
that's not
itself is
bad.
other than- but
And that
just the Weller
that
with the
$225
lamb though,
That $225 is per person, tax and gratuity included.
that's not bad.
That's not bad because you get any kind of pappy, you're going to pay $50
Yeah.
a pour.
Well,
That's
and
not bad, dude.
That's not bad at all. And plus, like I said, I would love to try it because I'm not really a lamb person because of how gamey it is. But the lamb with the Weller with the grass clippings,
I
that
make
would be insane.
An amazing lamb with the mint julep sauce on a grill, medium rare. Oh my God.
Well, and Weller CYPB is I
Yeah.
think $45 a pour.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Pappy's more than 75.
we
dude.
got to
Yeah,
make this
it's like
decision.
$80.
We got to.
We'll
make
talk
this
about
decision.
it.
Yes.
But anyway, if you guys want to,
Let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That
honestly,
kind
I
of
think,
sounds like someone's last meal.
yeah, right.
Can I just get the menu from that pairing? Just
In
the
him,
switch.
with him, through him.
flip the switch, call it good. I'll see you on the
I'm
other
happy.
side.
I'm happy with that.
you know how mad people would be though in the viewing room. They're like, "Is that Pappy 12?
Is that Pappy?
What the fuck?"
Our government's shut down. Why are we serving this guy Pappy? This
Oh man, and
guy's a murderer. What
on
the
that
hell?
note, good transition, Oscar. So on the topic that we're talking about today is all about the government shutdown and how it relates to real estate. And the number one thing that I think that we should talk about is how the government funds and backs mortgages.
Yeah, I think there's two categories we can split up with, right? We can split up with how the government machine works in the mortgage world, and how it affects that. And then on a smaller scale, how the government shutdown is affecting people and their ability to actually purchase houses in markets.
And then the overall how it's just affecting people in general, because there's people furloughed. Furloughed and people that are working are not getting paid.
Exactly. And we'll get into
what does that look like in our military? So it just trickles down even further.
Yeah. And it's such a big machine.
And there's also agencies that rely on government workers or agencies that are not government directly, but they...
Let's start here. Oscar, what does FHA stand for?
Federal Housing Authority.
And what's the first word?
Federal.
So the FHA, one of the main areas that first-time home buyers can get assistance, you hear us talk about down payment assistance, all that. The FHA is where that comes from. And when the government is shut down, it doesn't shut down completely, but it goes bare bones. And what that means is it's going to take longer for your loans to process. It's going to take longer for your loans to get approved because of the funding, because now they have to figure out where that funding is coming from. And then number 3, it is just completely going to slow and put a backtrack on everybody who's in the middle of the process, because as things change throughout the transaction, your loan officer is constantly having to reach out and have conversations with FHA loans and their representatives.
So the FHA loan is a federally insured backed loan. So the federal government has to give the thumbs up, and you have your upfront mortgage insurance and then your monthly. But not only is FHA and VA bare boned, USDA is suspended. On top of that, the government shutdown is going to trickle down to all loans. Why? What do you need to prove income?
IRS.
The IRS. So that's another agency that's shutting down. So, and then we'll talk about how to keep, how to navigate, because this episode's, how it's affecting and how we navigate through it, right? You stay in communication and all that, but also there's a way. I mean, the website's not shut down. You could pull transcripts and everything yourself. So again, knowledge.
Yep. Well, and then I'm going to say, and this just gives credence to, if you have somebody who's been in the market like Oscar, who does both the buy, sale, and the loan side, this is where experience comes into play, because your agent and whoever you're working with in your transaction, they've probably experienced multiple shutdowns. They've probably gone through this. So by having an agent that you trust that has the experience, it just puts you at a level and an understanding that the normal person wouldn't be,
True.
Yeah, I mean, so...
I just got a whole lot of sweetness out of this thing as it opens up.
Yeah, so, let's talk about it just from a loan standpoint, right? So if you are on an FHA or a VA loan, what can you expect right now if you are looking to apply for one of those loans? Because at the end of the day, if the shutdown's a couple days, right, it wouldn't really affect you.
We were at day 22. As of filming of this episode, we are on day 22.
Yeah. So Oscar, from a lending standpoint, right, because this is your background. I've got your card right here, actually. Oscar Ibarra, Senior Loan Officer from eMortgage Capital.
No hablo
So
inglés.
from a lending standpoint, what can buyers expect? First, from just like, is it going to take longer? And if so, are there things that they can do, or can you write contracts a certain way? Should they be expecting something different from the loan process to just be prepared?
I think, if anything, just be more prepared than usual.
Okay.
Just in case there is some delays.
So what does that mean, to be prepared more than usual?
Have all your ducks in a row as far as income. Make sure you're in constant communication with your lender. Most of the big banks are, they're prepped for all this.
Okay.
The banks are the ones that are going to loan the money. But anytime they have to rely on any government agency, let's say Cavers, any of their software, just know that there might be a bit of a delay because of the skeleton crew.
Okay.
Make sure you're. I'm going to run one CHAFA here in the next few weeks. I'm hoping that none of that is pushed back. So if you're doing any government grants or any government, like full-on government loans like CHAFA, expect a little bit. Buy yourself some time, and express to the people that are helping you that you're a little nervous about any delays. So they're on top of it. So your real estate agent maybe puts in some contingency verbiage in the contract stating, this is if it is affected. I don't want to give any legal verbiage, because once you start writing verbiage into our contract, you're practicing law, but something along the line that we're in a government shutdown. If it is affected through the loan, we're all parties are going to agree to buy more time and protect your dates. And what do your dates protect? Your earnest money. On the lending side, make sure that everything is uploaded, promptly don't snail pace anything.
Yeah. So, for example, right, in my head, I think there's two things that come to mind, right? Number one, communication between realtors and lenders and realtors have to be
don't check out,
notch, right?
Don't check out and assume that the other party's doing their due diligence.
Because if I'm working, let's say I have an FHA buyer and I'm making an offer on a house currently, I have to go to that listing agent and say, hey, here's the deal. Normally, I like to see something like a new loan terms deadline pretty close, right? Within a week, 5 days of going under contract. But that would mean that I need income verification, certain things done pretty quickly, which without a government shutdown, easy peasy, right? Lemon squeezy. But currently, that may not be the case. So that
if you're a government employee, absolutely.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So now it may take some more communication, with the lender, saying, hey, what are you seeing on your side? How long is this currently taking in the current market condition? And then from the agent side, being open and honest with the listing agent, saying, hey, we obviously want to get this deal done, but we may need an extra week. So instead of a 30-day close, we may be looking at a 45-day close, but only because we may need an extra week for a new loan terms deadline to make sure that we can get all of our ducks in a row, because we obviously want this to close. You guys want this to close, but we don't want to go back and forth and have to change dates and deadlines every 2 days because I'm waiting on the government to get back to us with an IRS verification sheet.
Transcript or something.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's paramount.
And and on top of that, you're forgetting if the house is in a flood zone, those agencies are government agencies.
Yes.
FHA ones are. When you're doing a conventional loan, you get to pick your flood insurance. If you're doing an FHA, you have to go through their agencies. It's very restrictive, and it's expensive, but that's another agency that might be delayed.
So what about USDA? Because right now
USDA is suspended. I mean, if you're going USDA or you're furloughed, you're not going to look for a house right now.
So what's a USDA loan?
USDA
who uses it? What's it for?
So USDA loans is a rural community loan, farmers, stuff like that. Well, no, just out land,
right?
Acreage. And the way that USDA loans work is they have a map, and if it falls within the map, you're eligible for USDA. They're really good loans. They have great interest rates, up to 100% financing and low mortgage
zero
insurance.
down?
Yeah, you could do zero down. So those loans right now, I would say to wait to see
you have to, right? Because as far as I know,
they're suspended.
They're suspended.
From what I know, they're suspended.
Fucking crazy. Like, hey, sorry, we have this great program, Charlie. Do you want to use it?
Yeah, I'd love to start my home buying journey.
Too fucking bad.
Do you have horses? Do you want some acreage? Yeah, you're gonna have to wait.
To me, it's with the whole thing in the government shutdown. My friend, my buddy is in the military. Said it best.
Is he getting paid?
No, but that's kind of my point, right?
It's kind of weird. They're doing like draws right now.
Yeah. So and that's kind of where I'm going to take it with the conversation as far as like, obviously the FHA, the funding right now is paused and or at a halt based on what's going on with the government. But what people aren't taking into consideration is the fact that you now have military service members of all branches that are not getting paychecks.
No, federal employees in general.
Well, my aunt works for the VA, and I have two cousins in Texas that work somehow through the government. They're working. They're not getting paid.
Look at
they're supposed to be here tomorrow. And they're waiting.
When I was when I was out in Hawaii last week and I was doing the shark dives, there was a couple on the boat, and he works for the National Geological Survey, and he's like, "Yeah, I found out I got furloughed 2 days before."
Wait! You're not going to take a jab at him?
No.
He's always he's always giving you crap because you're always
doing
extravagant stuff.
I've already taken.
Excuse me,
tabs.
Mr. Shark Diver over here.
Multiple tabs.
Hey,
I literally told him
I am a
he
shark
would rather
diver.
get eaten by a tiger shark than celebrate my birthday with me. We already went down that road.
I'm just saying.
Went down that road.
Hey, baby.
Trust me.
I got tiger shark, Galapagos, and a black tip reef shark.
Already went down
three
that.
species.
I did hold a big
walk through an aquarium
nurse shark in Cancun.
I don't want to hear it.
It's a pretty cool experience, but
no,
that's awesome.
It's not even that, but it's TSA employees, it's air traffic controllers, it's the National Forestry, it's everything, right? And I think that's when you talk about like the loans themselves. So FHA, we're planning on delays. At minimum, we're planning on delays. VA, same thing. We're planning on delays. So you need to structure offers by talking to the lender and seeing what they're seeing. Because if you got lenders like an Oscar that are in the market and they're processing loans, they're going to be able to tell you, hey, we are seeing delays, or no, we're not. The thing with these government shutdowns is you don't see the impact immediately when it comes to this kind of stuff because it's called bureaucracy, right? Mm-hmm. It takes a while to trickle down. But as the longer it goes on, and I mean, as of today, I was looking at it.
I'm sure there's going to be a hangover.
There's not. Well, there's just not right now. There's no sign that anything's going to be that's going to come to a conclusion as of what is today, October 23rd. The longer it goes on, the farther the reach the impact is. So make sure.
And why are they shut down? They're shut down because of funding for healthcare. Insurance, healthcare.
It's a lot.
But there was two big topics that they cannot agree on, and it's like
Medicare cuts is one,
and healthcare for.
There was two that I was like, really?
They're trying to say that the Democrats are trying to get funding for illegal aliens, but illegal aliens can't get funding for healthcare through that. It just can't happen. It's illegal. It can't happen. So it just, again, we're not going to go the political route with it, but as far as just overall, a bunch of people in government are having
They don't agree.
They don't agree with each other. A bunch of old men and women don't agree with each other, and we, the people, are feeling it, right? Yeah. That's ultimately what.
And
it comes
meanwhile,
down to.
La Cosa Nostra is taking over the sports gambling world. So
man, shout out to Chauncey Billups, man. He's a local hero. I feel bad.
That's
buckets.
Crazy. That's
but
crazy.
Anyway,
but no, let me kind of put this into a little bit more of a perspective, okay? So as of right now, with the government shutdown and the latest numbers that are showing, is we have let me get there. So roughly right now, 730,000 federal employees are working without pay, and then roughly another 100,000 have been furloughed. So that is over.
I saw bigger numbers.
Right?
It was like 900,000 furloughed and like a couple mil not being paid.
Yes, and this could just be federal employees we're talking about, not the sub.
Everybody that trickles down to.
But just think about it like that. You have right now, just with those numbers alone, 1.5 million Americans that do not know where their mortgage payment is coming from.
Yeah, they don't got roughneck backbones like us real estate agents that are commissioned. Then they're like, "What? You haven't been paid for 26 days? I haven't closed anything for a month and a half."
But no, and it's the reality of it. As you know, right now we're 22 days in, and you.
That's a long time.
It is. It's the second longest.
Second longest
Shutdown. And what people don't realize is this isn't. You're not going to feel the shutdown in the first 10 days, in the first 15 days. Really, you're going to start feeling it after 25, 30 days, right?
Normally they have a grace period of 30 days.
And what's the point?
But once that 30-day grace period expires,
stubbornness,
and those plans expire, now you have problems, right? And here's something that, and Oscar, you brought it up briefly, and this is more nationwide, right? But we're in October. We're in the midst of hurricane season. I just saw Hurricane Melissa, I think, is in the Caribbean. They're predicting that to be a Cat 5 in the next couple days. That's just south of Jamaica. But if that hits the Gulf of Mexico, it could be catastrophic. There's people that are continuing to buy homes along the Gulf Coast in Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. They cannot buy homes if we go past 30 days, you cannot buy a house technically in most of the Gulf Coast without getting flood insurance unless you're buying cash, right? Because you're required to have flood insurance because FEMA's shut down. So you cannot. It is.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Cannot issue, which means
what happens? No aid?
Mm-hmm.
No, not only no aid, but there is a absolute hard stop halt on home transactions in the Gulf Coast if this continues. The shutdown continues, right? And if you look at it from an economic standpoint, every home sale, right, every home transaction, economically adds to the local economy about $125,000 in economic impact. So you essentially are saying for every home sold, you're adding about $125,000 to the local economy. So if you look at some of these places like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, that are historically on the lower end of the economic spectrum when it comes to, prosperity, that's a massive impact.
Yep.
Where you're saying, hey, you know what? We're actually going to see, and I'd love to, if you're a realtor in any of these areas, I'd love to hear from you guys, like what you're seeing and what your associations are talking about. If they're basically saying, like, I can't write a loan for a house in 10 states that touch the Gulf Coast. for the next 30 days. Like, it's wild to me that you wouldn't be able to.
The humanitarian,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, screw that. Housing's one thing, but if you can't get FEMA or the military down there to assist, it's going to be catastrophic.
That's not right. So what I'm saying is, like, it could be over the next 30 days. We could see something unprecedented.
Yep.
Just because we can't.
FEMA's already been defunded a significant amount based on things. Now you can't even get the process started for it to go out and have that. And it's just, for me, in all reality, it's just like the way that this has been utilized, and it is currently being used as a political point rather than what their jobs are, which is to help the population, right? And what I mean by that is, as an example, we have the Army. So the military has some programs and some things that aren't related to the government and funded by the government that can help, right? But they're limited. So number one is the AER, the Army Emergency Relief Fund. Mm-hmm. Okay, they're independent. They have donations themselves, but just within the last 22 days, and this is the number by October 10th. Okay, they've already seen over $10 million worth of requests from people in the military saying, hey, we need this because we won't be able to pay our mortgage. We won't be able to pay our daily living. What a lot of people don't realize is that people in the military, most of them are still living paycheck to paycheck. And in the military, it's a lot harder because your bump in pay is not just, oh, I was in for another year and now I get more money. I get an average 0.25% increase. You have to get promoted to get more pay. Right. So you have people who are literally structuring their entire lives and their kids' lives, their medications around these payments.
Yeah, they struggle with the VA as it is.
Exactly. Because of how it's set up and because of how it works. And now you have the people, the 1% of our population who has literally sacrificed and made the decision to stand up and support us to sit here and drink bourbon and do this podcast. They're the ones that are being hurt even worse because they're getting hit on both ends. They're not getting paid and they can't get funding.
Yeah, you really want to piss me off? Yeah. Piss off our military
I just don't.
They should always be taken care of. But minimally housing and food. But to tie that and healthcare
to the housing market, right? And we can kind of transition this to like, okay, so we have the government shutdown, how it's affecting the loan portion of it, and how it's affecting, and it's essentially bottlenecking everything. And I think some of the last pieces it's going to bottleneck is the approval process of different loans and programs that allow for flood insurance and VA loans and FHA loans and USDA loans, so on and so forth. But economically, now you're starting to see the real human impact.
Yeah, the National Flood Insurance Program is suspended.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. In the Gulf Coast, you are not going to be able to purchase a house, or you're going to have a delay in purchasing a home because you cannot get flood insurance because it's suspended. And if I can't get flood insurance on a property, the bank's not going to loan me the money. So if I'm in Louisiana or Pensacola or Alabama or anywhere else on the Gulf Coast that requires flood insurance, I cannot currently get a loan on a home. Once that 30 days goes and that program expires. You know what I'm saying? Well, and I've got a hurricane coming in the next 15 to 20 days. But economically, from a human standpoint, now I've got military members that maybe were banking on a pay increase to then be able to afford to purchase a home, to use a VA loan with 0% down, to get out of base housing to go purchase a house for their family. Now they are facing a hurdle that they shouldn't need to face.
Well, and then on top of that too, like we talk about it all the time, the housing market itself. If you're a standard consumer that's not looking, or it's thinking about stepping or dipping your toe into the market, the number one factor that plays into the housing market, because it is such an emotional based market, is consumer sentiment. And if you have now 22 days, a full month of news outlets and people saying, hey, there's not funding, we're kind of scared of what's going on, consumer sentiment is going to go way down.
Right.
And as we have higher inventory coming out because more people are trying to sell, but now we have less people in the market because they're scared, it's going to have a lasting effect, at least for the next month and a half, 2 months of this government shutdown that we're going to see, at least from loan applications, from showings. If you're selling your house right now, you should be sending messages to your governor, whatever. Please get this going. Please open this up, because if every day we're getting news that people can't afford this, nobody's getting paid, the economy's going up, do you think that somebody's going to pay for your house?
Well,
right
let's go regional, right? We're in Colorado, and Oscar and I were talking about this right before the podcast. He was looking at houses in Colorado Springs, right? So from a regional standpoint, Colorado Springs is heavy military. It is a military town.
It's 85%
right?
military.
So do we think there's going to be more or less buyers in Colorado Springs than there are in, let's say, Castle Rock or Douglas County?
Way less.
So what does that mean for listings that are sitting in Colorado Springs right now?
They're going to get
There's going to be less activity.
And historically, I don't want to call
it. Which is great
it
for buyers that are not military in Colorado Springs.
Well,
right?
and on the upswing of that, historically, whenever there's uncertainty, the investors tend to lean towards U.S. Treasury as a safe haven, which pushes yields down, which pushes the interest rate down. And because they want to make sure that people are obviously scared for furloughs and loss of job to try to stimulate and keep it going.
Yep. Well,
the investors are going to buy the Treasury bonds, and then rates will drop and try to balance, but it's still not.
And basically what Oscar's saying at a third grade level, government bad. Government need you spend money. Housing prices good because need you spend money, need you get loan. So basically there's a chance that interest rates are going to drop because the worse the economy is, the worse the consumer outlook is, the better interest rates and the housing market gets because they need to incentivize you. So please remember
the investors to buy U.S. Treasuries.
And just please, and this is why we always say it is not what, Jameson?
Timing the market.
It is time in the market. Yeah. So if you are somebody who has been preparing, who has been taking these last 2 years to budget, to talk with your loan officer, to get your finances and everything where it needs to be, although things may be pushed back a little bit and maybe taking a little bit more time, you are in a phenomenal position because your finances are where they need to be. They're in order. So you can hand it to that loan officer, and that loan officer can just go check, 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 check. Instead of check, let me check A. Check, what about B and C? You have everything in line and you're ready to go because you've been preparing. This is a situation where overall, for the general public, it's going to suck. But for the housing market, when it comes to interest rates, if we see it get worse economically, you could benefit from it because you were prepared and you have been preparing this entire time.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's pros and cons. There's always opportunities, right? And it sucks because when you talk about a federal shutdown, there's such a large subset of the population that's affected, right? And it's always regional. Like we talk about, in Colorado, it's going to be the military towns here. Like Colorado Springs specifically. In Aurora, like around Buckley Air Force Base, out by DAA.
Aren't they Space Force now? Yeah. Did they got defunded or something?
Well, no. Colorado Springs is going to hurt in general, and it's honestly a great point because with the Space Force Head Command getting moved to Alabama, you're going to see a lot more listings because people moved and bought there because they thought they were going to be there. So you're going to have to now see them adjust and sell those listings during a time where the listings are on market longer. And so it's going to hurt. It's going to double hurt our military members because now they're going to have to uproot and move. They're going to have to. Some of them may have bought 6 months ago. I mean, look at what happened to Jensen. Right?
There's already an influx of foreclosures coming on in the Springs.
Yeah.
The military gave them a longer period of time for their loans and didn't really communicate that to them, so they just left them.
But again, if you are not part of that subset and you're looking, hey, I've always wanted to live in the Springs.
It's a great opportunity.
It's a great opportunity,
great
right?
views
And if you're
anywhere
looking at a potential for having a little bit lower mortgage rates, because investors are going to be flooding potentially to the Treasury bond because of the uncertainty, and you see a dip in mortgage rates, if you can ignore the headlines because it doesn't necessarily affect you, there is an opportunity, right? It's just there's always going to be a seesaw battle of where there's opportunity, where there's not.
And that's like I said though, that's the whole thing is with the housing market. It is and it always has been. When the economy is bad, the housing market, the interest rates are good, and that's because they need to incentivize you. They want you to take out those loans. And if you're watching the news, you're watching headlines and going, "Oh, this is bad. I shouldn't take out any money. I shouldn't borrow any money right now." You're not going to take out that loan. They're not going to make money. So they have to incentivize you by bringing mortgage rates down by doing those things.
And to segue from Jameson's point, it's like the weight scale, right? But it's never going to be equal. One side or the other is going to be higher than the other. So they're going to try to balance it as much as possible.
Hell, there's probably investors that are licking their chops right now.
Yeah,
looking
in a down economy, a lot
of Florida
people
Panhandle, going, wait, you're telling me there's a bunch of people that have their houses because Florida's already like saturated with listings right now.
People are
and
moving
now you're
out of there.
telling me that
Canadians. There was a big Canadian population there that was like, we're out of here.
But there's already people that aren't buying in Florida, and now you're telling me those listings that are sitting are now staring at buyers that can't get flood insurance currently.
And you're also looking at the state that has had the most insurance companies pull out of it.
And you have people that are cash flush going, wait, I can get this house for $200,000.
Because remember, you only need insurance if you're getting a loan.
That's what I'm saying.
If you go in there with cash,
yeah,
I'll roll the dice. What is the worst that could happen? I get flooded and I have to put money into it. I don't need the flood insurance. I don't need the financing. I'm going to get these houses for pennies on the dollar.
Exactly. And then I think that this is, you see how the wealth disparity grows and how like the normal.
It's all about.
There's people that are.
It's about positioning yourself and looking for the opportunity.
Proactive versus reactive. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Yep. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. And the hardest part for me is, obviously we're just 3 average Americans that are going through it just like most of our viewers are. The thing that kills me the most is people who don't understand the implications, that don't really know. Like, we have 2 of the main Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac that are affected by this heavily in a time period where,
and then you throw in the IRS. That's going to affect everyone.
It's literally it's just insane how we it's almost as if everybody forgets
grants, down payment assistance.
Yeah, it's almost that everybody forgets like the federal government is the overarching, is the grand all be all in the country, and we all rely on that functioning for us to be able to do what we're going to do. And regardless of how you feel about that, it is what it is. That's how our society is set up, especially for things like loans. Because
that's what it's evolved to.
Yeah.
Because any position in government, any top position in government, you're a civil servant, and you don't get paid much. You're supposed to be doing it out of the goodness of your heart and the goodness of the people, for the people, of the people. Yep. And they are not our superiors. They work for us.
Fuck Citizens United. I'm going to say it right at the camera. The stupidest decision.
That came out of left field. But all right, yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're going to...
And that's what
that's the decision that allowed companies and corporations to basically buy out our politicians.
Right. So
screw you.
And to...
La Cosa Nostra forever.
to elaborate on that, there should be people should be held accountable that are in government, and bless their hearts for doing it. But you can't regulate a certain industry within government and then be paid. They get compensated well. It's not like their going
benefits
poor.
Are insane.
And it wouldn't make sense for an attorney to go into this if they're making tons of money just to do it. But then they regulate a certain agency, and then they step down and go work for the damn agency and make millions of dollars. That should be illegal. Instead, go the right avenue and go work for them. Don't make it through the government, because that's just apparently something's out there.
Yeah, something's got to get.
So again,
something's got to get taken care of.
All the higher ups, they're shut down, but it's the people that are actually doing the grunt work that are suffering. And the day-to-day consumer, whether you work directly with the government or directly with an agency that's reliant on government approval, you're the one that's really getting banged up, and your average American can't afford it.
No,
they just can't. Not after the pandemic, even before the pandemic.
The housing market can't afford it. I'll be honest. If you look over the last 4 years, I feel like the housing market, just in general, has gone 12 rounds with Mike Tyson in his prime. Like, do you guys feel that way?
It's not going to happen.
Right?
Mike Tyson in his prime is not going to allow you to go 12 rounds.
Like, if you're looking at from a consumer standpoint, not even realtor, just a consumer standpoint, we have gotten beat up for 4 years. We went since 2019, actually 6 years really.
This is
2019.
The debt people are going into
until now,
the highest debt across in the United States.
And then you're not going to pay them. And then you're going to allow people to either foreclose and or be defaulted on their credit cards. You haven't been paying.
But this is just like this government shutdown affecting the housing market is just an unnecessary 13th round that we just didn't need. Like, we don't need people to not be able to get flood insurance. And then shut down home buying and the inability to use a USDA loan. And the inability to get income verification. Why?
COVID and the housing ripple effect from COVID was 12 rounds.
Right.
You're down, you're beat up, you're pretty much dead, and then the government shuts down. That's like, we're going back to 70s rules, and we're going to go 21 rounds. You're like, what the hell? How much more can it take?
Some of the government regulations also affect home builders, and we're already dealing with an inventory shortage, and now you've got home builders that are dealing with red tape they can't get through.
Let's not forget about the tariffs.
Right. So it's just one thing after
when are we going to be great again?
Let's just open these doors and get to
just
work,
move
people.
to Costa Rica and live on a beach.
But it's a good shutdown. It's a beautiful shutdown. It's going to be
shutdown
marvelous.
we've
When
ever had.
we walk out of this, we're going to walk out with our heads up.
Hey, good thing we
This
can't
is
get
the
kicked out
golden
of this
era of
place.
America.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I love it.
I can't get kicked out of here.
And that's satire. That's neither either side. We're talking shit here, people.
That's how he actually sounds, guys.
Yeah,
Come on. Okay, that's just.
Well, I'll tell you what. This has been the best topic, the greatest topic, the best episode there's ever been. Let's move in to the bourbon review for today's episode.
This might be the greatest bourbon we've ever tasted.
This review is sponsored by the Trump administration.
No, it's not.
No, because that would mean that it was regulated because it's a bottled in bond, and we're not regulated.
We can't regulate right now. No, all right, guys. So let's get serious
After this
on
conversation, I might drink this whole bottle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So let's jump into the bourbon review for today's episode.
No, not the bourbon review.
Our one rock takeaway.
Jeez,
Charlie.
I'm
You need regulated.
I need to be regulated.
You go swim with sharks. You come back and you're like,
My mind's still in the water, boys. Let's go ahead and move into our one rock takeaway for today's episode. And if you guys forget, the one rock takeaway is our concise kind of final thought of the episode's topic. We try and do it quick and concise, but obviously you know who we are. You know how we talk.
regulators. I love me some Young Guns.
That's all we needed.
I love it.
I mean, mine's gonna be a little bit of a rant, but it's just grossly unchecked. Our government. I mean, whether side you're on. I mean, it's flawed, but I think we could unflaw a little bit. These shutdowns, I get their stance, but I don't think that we should shut down at the cost of the American people. It's just, it's like, I can't remember who said it, Ozzy Osbourne, one of the rockers, or maybe it was just our local DJ here on our rock station.
Those are two very different people.
Well, I can't remember. It was one of the, it was associated with rock, and I can't remember who said it. But
it was either Ozzy Osbourne or Willie B. It was one of the two.
And please excuse my language, but he said, going to war for peace is like fucking for virginity. You know, it just doesn't really make sense. And then shutting this down for the American people, this should never be at a cost for our people. We're going through enough as it is. I've always been, again, independent, but humanitarianly, I swing to the left just because, I don't think anything should be at a cost of a person. I do believe in capitalism, but not at a cost of someone dramatically. So the shutdown just got me a little bit beside myself. It's like, let's make a damn decision that's going to at least move us forward, or not shut down and just have at it. You knock yourself into that room, and you guys don't leave that place until you make a decision. Don't put it on us. You work for us.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to piggyback on that. And I think my one rock takeaway in all this is the more prepared you are, the better off you are. And that's with a government shutdown. That's with the normal housing market. That's with everything. But if you have been preparing, if you have been heeding our warning and listening to the podcast, and you've been preparing for this, then I think that you're going to be okay, and you're not really going to feel it. But for those of us that have to sell right now, that have a family member that's sick, that you need to get rid of their house,
equip yourself with
you have a
professional
kid, right? Like you have a kid that you just had a kid, and you need to expand and buy something that's larger for you. Those are the people that are going to be hurt the most. And I just think that this goes to show, like, just being prepared is the most important thing across the board. Whether it's housing
yourself
market,
with some professionals and some experts that are sharks.
Exactly.
Because they will make sure that you will go through it as unscathed as possible, or just unscathed, period.
Exactly. J-Mo?
Yeah. I mean, I'm always, my one mantra in life that I will forever hold is control what you can control. Mm-hmm. And to me, this government shutdown, even with housing and everything, is a microcosm of that. Because the government controls a lot, right? But as we've talked and we've had this conversation, there's so much that you can do as an individual to put yourself in a position where you can limit the impact it has on you, outside of obviously being a federal employee. But that being said, and this is gonna. I might catch some flack for this, honestly.
Catch it.
I already dropped the F-bomb.
No, but what I'm saying is like if you can educate yourself and you are aware and educated of what could potentially happen based on what you do for a living and your financial situation, all these different things, right? You can prepare yourself for these type of things, whether you're a federal employee, whether you're somebody that's looking at purchasing a house, all these different things. Like there are ways, like there's either an excuse or there's a solution.
Don't rely on luck.
And I think you are in control of having either an excuse or a solution. So if it's a choice that you make as an individual, and you can either choose to have the government control what your outcome is, or you choose to have control of what your outcome is in this situation.
Either way you go. Either way you go, working with somebody who is professional, who has gone through it, who understands the process is going to be the best outcome for you.
And that's a choice.
Yep.
Don't rely on what's pretty or what's shiny. Do your damn homework, especially right now. Don't rely on luck.
No, it's a choice.
Get some real proof.
We just gave you guys 5 different solutions on how to go through a transaction that might be affected by the shutdown, right?
Sure.
Yep. Like that's it.
And we didn't even go through the whole macroeconomics of it because there's a lot more involved.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And macroeconomics is the government's player one.
Exactly.
Trades, so overseas, supply, shipments. I mean, there's a lot.
This was a great bottle to drink for this conversation, for this episode. And now we're going to move in to the bourbon review for today's episode.
Give us a recap, Charlie. How does the bourbon review work?
On our rock rating for our bourbon review, it is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the best, 10 being the worst, because the more rocks you put in a bourbon, usually the worse off that bourbon is. So the closer we are to 1, the better the bourbon. And I'll tell you what, this one, when you said it was rye heavy, I didn't
say it was rye heavy. I said it was a rye.
And we've always said rye should be in their own category because if we had a rye category, it would definitely be a better review than I gave it right now.
And as of really? Okay, hold on.
No, it's a good rating. I'm just saying if it was just rye.
I'm interested. I want to get my nose in JC's glass and taste it because with these Glencairns that we have, it has been a night and day difference. Between the experience. And I know I have swirled mine around a lot. Obviously, my hands touch it. I've heated up the bourbon while I'm holding it, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get my nose into JC's glass real fast before I give my final.
I'm going to go ahead and say that it opened up to a very palatable bourbon or rye. Ryes are always going to be a little more in your face. There's going to be a lot of boldness in ryes. Depending on the rye, you might not just like it. But this rye here, I don't want to call it a beginner's rye, but if you're not big on the burn, on the flavoring and all that, this is a perfect rye to pick up. It opened up really smooth without losing flavor. It actually got a little more sweeter on the back end of the palate, and it held strong with a lot of the beginning flavor profile, and really toned down the burn as it opened up and as I drank it.
All right, so I'm a little torn on this. The nose on my glass is better than the nose on JC's glass. That's the control, but the taste is better in JC's glass.
Really?
Than it is in mine.
JC's glass.
Yep. I think if you taste JC's, you change the rating.
Yeah.
Specifically because for your palate, I think JC's glass remains.
Nose is still.
Now take a sip.
There.
Totally different.
Yeah,
right?
It held a lot of the original flavors.
So it's just wild to me because
and it's bitter. This one lost the bitterness and the burn.
Just sweet, just punched through on our glasses.
Yeah,
100%. So I don't know. It's hard because I'm thinking like we always, let's talk about around the campfire with friends, stuff like that. I think that
that's like toasted honey.
Yeah,
and that's just toast.
Yeah, exactly. I think that this one, for me. This is one I would want for the sitting around a campfire talking with friends because at the beginning, it's going to hit you with bourbon. Oh, I'm drinking bourbon. Like this is heavy. This is hair on my chest. But then towards the end, as the conversation's lightening up, you're laughing a little bit more, you're relaxed. It gives you more of that sweet kind of dessert.
I think this rye.
Is this a sweet treat?
This is a sweet treat if you let her open up. So I think this rye is the kind of rye that you do take camping on a campfire because you're going to pour it into a tin mug. It's going to open up right away because it doesn't have the
Glencairn-ness.
Yeah, the Glencairn, whatever it does magically keeps the burn in, but it's aeration. But the thing is that you want to be out there with it wide open air, let it open up and breathe, and you're going to enjoy it more.
Yeah,
this is definitely
campfire bourbon. I'm really torn on this, honestly, just because for me, I think that this evolves in a way that it gets better for my palate because I like that it's bourbon up front and then opens up to that honey and that sweetness. And for me, as I'm having those conversations, especially like in my mind specifically last year, I got Old Soul. Me and my friends went up to a cabin for Christmas, sitting in a hot tub,
I love
cold,
Old Soul.
and we were sipping on it, and it was a great experience. By the end of the time, we were laughing, we were talking, my wife, my best friends, we had a great time. And if I think of that, which is one of my most recent favorite bourbon memories, it would be elevated by this because by the time we were done, this would be sweet, this would be the dessert, and we'd all be laughing and having a good time. Jameson, how you feeling?
What do we rate EH?
1.7 was the rating I had.
Okay. I mean, I agree. I'm
gonna hold on. Yeah, I gotta sip this more. Keep going. Sorry.
I mean, it's like butter sugar. It's weird, It's
so I will still take EH over this. However, I also haven't told you guys the price of this yet.
Can I take a guess?
Yes.
74.
Close. 79.
Hey.
So if you pair that with E.H. Taylor was 130.
Mm-hmm.
This is a damn good
Jason's
bourbon.
glass again. This is really hard for me.
It's similar. It's similar, right? I still
hard.
think E.H. held its character through and through. With
This
both
doesn't
glasses.
even drink like a rye. What I have in
That's
my
what I'm
glass
saying.
at all.
But I think that's because it's High West, dude. Like, this is the Midsummer Night's Dram, Casa Noble's. This is what they do. Their ryes are rye in mash bill only. But outside of that, that's
I really
it.
wish that you guys, please, this is a bottle that, like, out of all the ones, I haven't had to say this yet, but this is one that you have to, like, try to experience because
and give it time. Give it a chance.
I was going to say, because the difference between JC's glass and my glass is stark.
It's tasty.
The rye is still there. It still evolves. My glass leans sweeter towards the end, where JC's glass that's just been sitting and open is the bite, and that is there. And for me, I think, I based on the price, based on, oh man, Evan, if you're watching this, bro, please give me the High West review. Got to get the bottle and bond. Let me know what it is because I'm. Because of the price and the taste and the evolution of it.
So, here's the other thing, though.
Okay.
Because you've got to remember, there's a couple different ways to distill rye whiskey.
Yeah.
This is pot still, which is a mix, and it uses more malted barley than a normal rye.
I think that balances a lot.
It balances it out.
I'm just saying, for me, like, I think in all reality,
not
like,
balances, but it kind of and please, this is where words might fail.
I like how
I don't want to call water down, but it kind of dilutes the spicy of the rye.
I think this is going to be the biggest
difference
between Charlie and I and Oscar in a rating.
Yeah. So my rating on this guy is a 1.4.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah. I'm giving it a 1.4 because the fact that it's a rye, the fact that it's bottled in bond, the fact that it's $70.
I don't want to see Oscar's because I want to guess what his is.
This for me is like the epitome of when I first sip it, I get raw, rough bourbon. Yeah. This is it. It's got a little bit of a bite. I taste the wood. I taste the sweetness. It feels it. But then at the end, as it tailors off, it doesn't die. You don't lose it. It just adds a sweet palate for me. And you give me that. You give me that honey.
Yeah.
On the back end, anytime. And you're gonna win me over. So
I don't want to see yours.
I'm sitting at a 1.4.
I don't want to see it. So I'm gonna 195. Okay. I can't go above E.H. Taylor. I can't.
Yeah.
Because E.H. Taylor and Old Soul, I still think are above this.
And don't get me wrong, the complexity of E.H. Taylor is there, But again, you said at the beginning of the episode, money, right?
Correct.
And if I'm gonna,
but I do think the complexity like this, I think mellowed out enough to where it lost a little bit of the complexity more than E.H. Taylor. That was the only reason.
I can agree with that. And the fact that this does tailor off to that honey sweet graham cracker more.
The only thing E.H. Taylor did was E.H. Taylor maintained some of the burn.
Yes.
A little bit better than this did. So I'm gonna guess Oscar's at a 3. I'm gonna guess.
All right, so
I'm gonna guess.
My wheelhouse is more of E.H. Taylor.
I think he's at a 3.
Old, chew the fat bourbon. I like to just enjoy.
Maybe even 3.5.
I like to enjoy the bourbon story and just have it in what I'm drinking.
I'm trying to look in the reflection of the glass behind him just so I can get a sneak peek.
I'm purposely not looking. I think he's at 3.5.
It's a damn good drink. I enjoyed it. I think it fills the need for the complexity, and it smooths out to the point where maybe you don't want that anymore, and then you're just like, this is very enjoyable to drink. It does do that very well. I gave it a 2.25.
Oh, okay. All right. So not bad. All right.
And again, if we were just comparing ryes, I'd probably have it like a 1, 1.5.
Yeah. If this is, I think
if we were just doing ryes, this is probably one of my top ryes.
Yes, absolutely.
By far, top three ryes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I want to say because obviously, Jim, we had said it's rye heavy, but you said it's not a rye.
It's a pot still, so it uses more more malted barley. But yes.
Let me see if I can get back to the page. Okay, so it is 36% rye.
Yeah.
And 64 non-GMO yellow corn.
Okay.
So it is higher.
It is higher in corn.
Higher than the normal.
Because normally it's what? Minimum's
it's like 24.
24, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's definitely there with the rye. It has more rye, but I think this is a testament to High West's ability to do flavor profiles.
To fuck with shit.
With their bourbon.
Yeah, they fuck with shit. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but what other 36%? How the hell do you land on 36%
for rye? Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like either it's 55%. How do you land on 36? And it makes sense to me based on Midsummer Night's Dram. I had the campfire while I was in Hawaii, and that in itself alone, if you guys haven't had the campfire, they mix Scotch in with bourbon and whiskey, and there's this crazy smokiness to it. But
it literally tastes like a campfire.
It goes to show that you don't have to be an old distillery to make something good.
No.
Because one of my other favorite ryes is Smoke Wagon.
Yeah, and both of them are young, new. Bottles are very similar.
Smoke Wagon's in Vegas.
Yep. I think that I don't know. This is High West. You do a hell of a job. I'm gonna reach out because this is.
We haven't had a bad bottle yet. Dude.
I haven't had anything from High West. Even when I just try it on my own, that's bad.
If you're at a bar, High West should be in your Rolodex of drinks.
And nobody knows it. Like I've been out with people.
If you're there and you don't know what to drink, and you're like, High West, you're going to drink something.
And I'll tell you what,
I'll get side eyes from people like, what is High West? I'm like, it's Utah. They're like.
So the craziest thing for me was when I was in Hawaii. If you guys don't know, I recently just learned this. I'm not trying to say I know a lot about Hawaii, but Hawaii, obviously, because of the imports, because of where they are, things tend to be a little bit more expensive. I got the High West campfire for $72.
Nice.
That's on island compared to, like, you would think it would be even more.
Yeah.
But
I mean, did you pair it with some Spam, though?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Some what?
Spam.
Masubi, baby.
Oh, Spam with rice and seaweed, that little wrap.
Masubi.
Oh, yeah. That's
bro.
Sounds just like
every morning before
sushi.
It's good.
Every morning before I went,
the saltiness and
Hawaii, bro. They're making the best
Spam. Oh,
it's
bro. You have literal fish in the ocean.
Give me some teriyaki masubi and a coffee to start the day.
Not only that, they got wild boars running all over there. But Spam, I mean, it all started Pearl Harbor.
My dad has a weird obsession with Spam too. I'm like,
dude, no, I'm sorry, but me and my buddy, 100%.
You fry up some Spam with some. With the over easy egg?
One night, we went legitimately to 5 different places. We went on a mission to find some fresh masubi. We ended up not finding it. The guy at the 7-Eleven was like, hey, bro, just put it in the microwave. It tastes just as good. And we were like, nah, fuck you, bro. So we drove around 5 different places. Ended up going back, getting it put in the microwave. Fire.
They know their stuff, man.
They do.
You don't argue with the local.
There's a reason. All right. On that note, guys, phenomenal episode. Great bourbon. I gave it a 1.4. Right? 1.4? 1.4. Jameson gave it a
195.
2.25.
Oscar 2.25. Definitely check out High West.
Dude, for $79,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Do it.
You
Do it.
don't not do it.
You have to.
Just
do
High
it.
West in general. Like, just pick a fucking bottle that they have. Just try it.
I love it. On that note, guys, you can reach all of us at our own personal socials. Oscar?
OscarTheRealtor.com, OscarTheRealtor.co.
And if you have any questions about lending or anything like that, please reach out to Oscar. He can help you get prepared, help you figure out what it looks like.
Zoom in.
Yeah, zoom in.
You look like you're having a great time.
Yeah.
It was an event.
I love it.
It was a very
good.
candid shot.
Good
that
photo.
Got.
Good
very
photo.
candid. That's actually, I haven't seen you smile like this in 3 years.
It was a good event.
Jameson, where can they find you?
The Colorado real estate guy. Or Jameson Amros, any socials.
You can find me at Charlie Sardelli for anything real estate related. If you want to create a podcast yourself, you want to do any video content, at Beat the Jeans Productions, Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, guys, at any point in time, please let us know. We're still working on the bottles that we want to give away for our 100th episode. We're coming up on it. We're gonna.
It might be High West. I'm not gonna lie.
It might be.
It might be High
from
West.
Midsummer Night's Drum.
Yeah,
It
it
might
has
be.
to be top 3.
It might be.
But stay tuned because we'll let you know what we're looking at. But you can get in touch with all of us at The Mile High Perspective. You can reach out to us, RESOTR at themilehighperspective.com, or give us a phone call.
720-584-3361.
And on that note, guys, please, you got this. I know government's shutdown is
Wait,
scary.
also,
but
real quick, if you guys want to stop by,
yeah.
come by the Lone Tree office.
Live studio audience.
Yep.
We've had a couple times.
9233 Park Meadows Drive, Suite 104.
Come check us out.
We're here.
It's awesome. It's
Our
awesome.
signs light up at night.
If we
Pretty
do,
fucking
maybe
dope.
we'll go have a pour with you somewhere.
Not only that, I'm going to throw this out there because this is what we're going to do. So we're in basketball season. My Warriors are playing. His Nuggets are playing. Actually, Nuggets Warriors tonight. BT Dubs.
Yep, in Golden State.
In Golden State. But we're planning on having watch parties here. So we might do some events. We have Nuggets watch parties, Broncos watch parties.
Let's get it.
So we'll advertise that. If you guys want to come by, hang out with us.
Yep.
I just
You know,
got a
let us
text
know
message. My family that's supposed to be coming.
If you're in a state that does
busy.
a custom, has a distillery, has local distilleries that you like, let us know. We'll pay for shipping to get the bourbon to review it and drink it. We
Not
wanna
only
do
that, if you have a question about a bourbon, or come visit us.
Yeah.
We have the bottles here.
Exactly.
Behind us. Everything we've tasted.
It's right here. Right here.
Yeah.
On that note, guys, thank you so much for joining us on another episode, and we will catch you guys next week. Cheers.
Stay
Sláinte.
strong.